Hello, Targar friends. Hey, everybody. It's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And today was Dynamic Effort Squat and Deadlift Day, which we're going to make some changes. So if you guys could click like down below, it would be greatly appreciated. Help me keep the likes higher than the dislikes. Not that it even matters anymore at this point, but still, it's all I ask if you guys could reach down and do it. All right, so what are we doing today? 5x5 with 47%. 1 rep max with 33% band tension. And yes, that's a lot of bands. Yes, I had to put those plates down there because only half of my rack is bolted down. And that much band tension literally pulls the rack over. So we needed the extra weight. These felt good. They were hard. They were challenging because this is a bit more bands than I normally run. And I'm doing 5s. Right? We're not doing 8 doubles, 10 doubles. It's 5x5 with short breaks. Like 60 seconds between sets. And yeah, when you're hitting the top end of this, it gets tough because when we reach the midway mark, we're passing 400 pounds as soon as the bands kick in hard. But I got it done. Got in and got it done. It felt good, felt different. I've got that stance all the way out wide these days now, as people can notice. We're all the way to the edges of the rack with toes forward and driving. And on this, because it's 5 reps, I'm actually trying to take my time, get a deep breath again at the top, control everything, drive out. I have to focus on every single rep so that I can get that speed. So there's a little more focus, a little more concentration happening here. Also because it's only 5 sets. You know, I've got to get in and make each one count. Got to get in and make each one count. And we did. Felt good. It was challenging though. It's hard. I'm glad I've been working on conditioning a little bit because you got to be in shape to do this stuff correctly. And especially try to get the speeds you want. And speeds are going to be hard to hit running this method. And some people are going to say, oh my God, this isn't West Side speed. Yeah, it actually is. This very much comes from their newer stuff. What they've converted over to for a lot of their lifters. And it tends to be bands. Right, it is bands. This 5x5 methods that they're doing for this lists only band tensions. Probably a reason for that. It's because bands work better for speed. And if you're going to do certain other ways, you can rotate bands and chains. It's fine. A lot of times you can do raw weight. All right. In this, we're getting heavier. Right. And we're having to learn to get explosive. Because this is, again, more total tension than we normally would use. And especially doing 5s. But I was able to maintain the speed. I was happy with it. I felt a ton of quad, by the way. Ton of quad, ton of hip. And like I know some squat PRs are coming. Actually, it's going to be a squat week next week for max effort. We do good morning, then we do squat, then we do deadlift, and then we repeat for different variations. I feel like everything's just getting so much stronger that I think there's going to be a decent box squat PR. I don't even know what I'm going to get. I still use my random stuff to some extent. We're just in the charts. But I feel like whatever I hit is going to be a big lift. Right? I think no matter what band or chain or bar combo I get, I think even with bands and chains, it's going to be well past 500 pounds. Whatever variation I get. You know, and I feel like I'm closing in on those goals. Closing in on those goals. We saw what happened with the bench this week. And yeah, this set, I believe this is the 5th here. But again, people will also ask why this bar. Purely for shoulder health, because again, I had some shoulder irritation, and yes, it's still bothering me. Yes, I know it's purely from the pull-ups. It's easy to figure out. So I'm having to just work on my shoulders, work on my rotator cuffs, tons of band work. And that's the other thing people should realize at this point. These are my main workouts. I do tons of restoration work. And no, I don't want to film it because there's nothing impressive. And if you guys watch me do heavy ass lifts, all this volume, if a person doesn't believe that I do really high rep single joint exercises, which are not hard, there's no challenge, there's no work to it. I just don't know what to tell you. That person's basically an idiot. And we just can't waste time on people like that. It's like you guys know also, I don't even waste time in my comments anymore. I just don't have time for it. Anything is just this nonsense. It's just gone. I don't have time for it. I don't have patience. I'm busy training, busy coaching. Ton of new clients have rolled in. Super busy. Super busy. I don't have time for BS. I just ban. Even if it's people I like normally, you're just gone. No time for it. This is a serious strength training channel. If we can't talk about serious strength and conditioning and serious goals, then you need to go somewhere else. This is not for you. My comment section is not, at least. So, sumo deadlifts. Yes, I'm adjusting things. Yes, these were awkward. Yes, they're difficult. Yes, I struggle to get it off the floor, and then it flies up. We're running the same percentages, though. So, for those curious, that's like 200 pounds of band. We are running a lot of band tension. And yes, I measured. You have to look at the way they're draped over. It's doubled over, right? Both sides of the band. So I'm pulling against 200 pounds of bands at the top. And yeah, sumo's hard for me out of the bottom. And, you know, I've been doing all the deficit work, but I'm like, I need to do the sumo for speed. I'm doing deficit work on conventional for moderately heavy weight for reps on my other days. I've got to get the speed work in. And I've got to work all these different angles. We have to get good at everything. We have to. And yes, it's awkward. But I have a feeling a few weeks of doing this, I think it's gonna do pretty good. I have to get in the groove, finding my positions, and I kind of found my positions to where I do have the good leverage as far as foot positions, and I'm trying to replicate that. I messed with it the other day. There's a little bit to work with on it, but I'm gonna get it. And I've had some people say, "Oh, you didn't really get the sumo perfect before, and you've got some mobility." You know, that's irrelevant. I'm going to get it. Approaching it slightly different now. And this was 6 singles, which again, when we're dealing with bands, we're inside of less size parameters for speed. But I've got to get stronger at the sumo, and it'll go with my really wide box squats. They go hand in hand. But yeah, I mean, it's very hard for me to pop off the floor. And we know that from the past when I've done sumos. Right? I've done 600 off of a 2-inch block from the floor. Is tough for me. So we're going to work on it. And the wide stance box squats will help. But it's only going to happen with practice. And the speed work's a great place to practice. You want to get practice in. This is where it is. But yeah, and that's a ton of band tension. And the fact that once I get it moving, I can pull pretty fast against that says that we're part of the way there. But it's going to take work. And people are always like, what do you mean weak links? You're always get guys who are like, you're really strong at this point. No, we still have weak links. We have to keep getting stronger. We fix it. We fix every weak link. We train every angle. Then we had these. Oh man, the Cambered bar is phenomenal for good mornings. It's so easy on your shoulders. For those curious, keep in mind this is an 85-pound bar. This is a Titan Fitness bar, is 85 pounds. So you might be looking saying, was that 275? No, that's 315. 315. We did a 4x6. And I've set my straps up there to where they can control exactly where I want it in the range of motion. Right where I want it to be so I can hit the straps and then come back up. Instead of tapping against pins. Way better than pins. And anybody can set that up. It's cheaper than buying safety straps. Like guys, literally, I think I have $40 invested in that whole safety setup. And you can't really see them up there, but I have, they're painted orange. You may or may not be able to see them. But I've got eye hooks up there. And then I'm running these safety straps. They're 10 foot long, and then you can wrap them around the top to get the links you want. I have a lot of experience rigging, by the way. So I'm very familiar with all this rigging and stuff, and I'm used to using it with very, very, very heavy objects. Because I did it for actually a few different times in my life, did work as a hydrogen compressor mechanic. So I'm used to moving things using straps and slings, and at least it's been a long, long time. I haven't done that in forever. But I have a lot of experience with it. So for me, it made sense to just grab, safety slings. Right? And that's what I'm doing for my setup. And it's really inexpensive. And that way you don't have to go to any company that throws you together kits. You can just do it yourself. Okay? And you're not going to wear these out. And if you do, so what? They're $10 a piece. They'll hold thousands of pounds. They'll take more weight than the rack is rated to. But these felt amazing with the 315. And I can tell this bar, this is really going to be the bar I think I want to do my rep work with. And if we stall, we can throw chains over it. Right? If we need to adjust it for a variation, chains on this bar. This bar is amazing. I mean, any bar can work for good mornings. This one, though, especially because of the shoulder situation and the fact that I want to push the hips back, it's great. It's great. So very happy with this bar purchase. Extremely useful piece of equipment. And this lift right here, this is where it's going to really benefit. And yeah, this is going to be another tool getting really, really strong at good mornings. It's going to take my squatting and my deadlifting up to another level. It's going to take it to another level. So we got to keep moving forward. We're going to hit that 600 squat. Going to hit that 650 plus deadlift. I might be real close already. I mean, looking at the way all these lifts are going, you know, as far as a 650 deadlift, I might be there right now. I don't know. I'll have to look closer at my supplemental work, figure out where it all lands. All my other lifts. Wouldn't rule it out. These, I went ahead and added another mini band. Did 3 sets of 8. 3 sets of 8. Build those hamstrings up. That's what we're going to do on this day. We're worried about posterior chain hamstrings, all that. Because I'm getting extra quad work with my sled drags, box jumps. And my quads are getting work plenty on the squats. My quads are fine. Got to build the hips, hamstrings, glutes, adductors, everything. All this has to be built. Right? And you can never have hamstrings that are too big. And hitting these against bands, it's a different beast. Totally different beast. Unique feeling. There you guys can see my arm a little better. And that's kind of the funny thing, you know, scale. I had people come in and chime in. They're like, your arms are small. No, my arms are small in proportion compared to bodybuilders who pin them full of stuff. And in fact, I don't have great arm genetics. My arms are probably bigger than you think they are at this point. I'm not going to get into what they are. I know what they are. I'll leave everyone else in suspense. I promise you whatever you think they are, add an inch or two. This is what it is. I don't care, though. I'm going to keep training them. I got to keep beating my triceps, keep doing the bicep work that we're doing. But triceps are ultra high priority because that's what's bringing my bench up. But we'll talk about bench next time. We'll talk about bench on max effort bench days, but that's going good too. Yep. Getting strong on those good mornings, getting strong with these glute ham raises. These are both massively useful for the squat and the deadlift. All right, we're going to keep working that speed work from that sumo angle. All right, we'll keep getting stronger at the speed squats. The speed squats are going great right now. They're going great. Those sumo speed deadlifts are going to need a little work. Right? We all agree with that. The only way they're going to get better is with practice. And we're going to build the weak links, build everything up. Keep moving forward. Keep getting stronger. Okay? And get past the 1,600 total this year. My gym lift total. And we'll see what happens later. Then we did the 5x10 reverse hypers, doing them strict now with 50% of my squat. Right? Notice I don't let it swing all the way forward as much. We're getting traction, but I'm trying to control it so that I have to actually work. But again, they felt good. I could probably increase the weight on these a little bit. But we don't want to go too far. We'll always base it off of squats. And as we're doing it last, it's not a big deal as long as we're getting challenging work in. I don't have to push the bleeding edge on this like some of these other movements. And because I do so many of these, also not a big deal. I do these on off days. A lot of my off days, I do up to 5 sets of 30 with half of this weight. So 25% of squat weight. But I'm really happy with the way this workout went. Like I said, the only things that weren't great were the sumo pulls. And they're okay. But it's just getting that pop out of the bottom. Got to get more powerful. But that's what speed work does. We get explosive out of the bottom. That's how dynamic work works. That's how it works, guys. But coming up next week, we'll have more workout footage. It's going to be max effort bench coming up Monday. We'll discuss more of the bench. Very happy with that bench PR this week. And I feel like a 365 bench is coming. I feel like it's real close. It's like I feel like that 650 deadlift is real close. All right, we're getting towards some of these goals. Getting towards these goals. And working on conditioning and working on power. Getting in better shape. So everything is just flowing nicely. It's flowing nicely. Even my coaching business is doing great. I have no complaints. That's why I don't even care anymore if people want to hit dislike. It doesn't matter. I don't even care. I like it when you guys hit the likes to help. But everything is flowing good. Everything's flowing great. Got to keep it doing so. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.